So guys, if we get back into our lunge position, and what I want you to work on here, allow the knee to bend and just take it over the foot a little bit. Now this back foot is what's going to drive everything. So you're just going to start to raise the heel off the ground, and then the foot is actually going to press and rotate that way. Yeah? But you've got to keep the big toe still on the ground as that foot rotates and unwinds. Yeah? And that's just going to gently push you forward. And when you do this well, it will feel really powerful. All the weight will be on that back leg, and it's really powerful movement, just up and down. Try not to hold a static position. Just keep moving. Allow it to move in and out. Cool. Allow the front knee to bend. Can you sense how you're going over the top and it then goes soft? You've got to keep pressing into the ground with a big toe. That big toe needs to keep pushing in. Don't go quite as far out, just keep the big toe. There we go. Good. One of the reasons the big toe is so important, the flexor tendon for the big toe is a little bit different to other tendons in the body. It actually crosses two joints, so you get this what they call windlass effect. So I don't know if you understand about a pulley system. The more you loop that pulley over, the lighter the implement gets. So the toe's incredibly powerful because I guess it's the biggest of the toes, but it's also got this mechanism which makes it much stronger and more powerful. So I'd probably want to use it and maximise the potential. Okay, just have another little walk up and down again. And if you feel any change, make a note or shout it out. So in this gait model that we're using, Gary Ward's flow motion model, there are actually two pronations and two supinations in the walking gait. Yeah. So when we land, the foot's flat, we collapse into the middle. There's the first pronation. We then get over the top of the foot and we supinate. Then the next time that we pronate is once we've trod onto the next foot. As we bring this knee up, the foot kind of flattens out here to just create some space underneath. Yeah, so we go into actually a pronated position. So we've got flexion in the knee and a flexion at the ankle. We then get another supination just before we land because the foot's out here, ready to strike on that outside edge. And then we then go into the pronation. It just keeps cycling. And what you find is if someone they don't get one of these other supinations or pronations, it almost exaggerates it in the other place. That makes sense. Right, what I want to do is a bit of hamstring work. So I guess a lot of hamstring work's kind of linear, but I want to put like a rotational tilt on it if we can, rotational slant. So what we're going to do, we're going to stand feet together, shoulder width apart, just take a step back, and then we're just going to reach forward while still pulling the toes up towards the shin. So it's just a step back, reach forward. That's it, step back and reach forward. That's it, and we're just rocking backwards and forwards. Keep pulling, we're just doing the same leg each time, keep pulling the toes up towards the shin. Now what we'll do is we'll continue to do the movement, but we're just going to reach across with the opposite arm to the leg. So we're bringing the hand into the, sort of across the foot. Okay, good step, good reach. And you don't need to force this movement, it is just a movement. Good, some of you will be more mobile than others. So you'll also start to get a sense that there's a rotation in the body now as well, so it's not just hamstring. And now we'll use the same arm and leg, so you're going to reach across the midline of the body with that hand this time. That's it. And then we'll go and we'll do the other side. So two hands first, just reaching forward, taking the backside away, pulling the toes up towards the shin. Some of you will get a real stretch in the calf and the Achilles doing this as well as the hamstrings. And the reason I like this is because it's movement rather than just a static stretch, you know. Once you've done a few of the double arms, then we'll go to the opposite hand and arm. You'll get a sense there's a big rotation in the body. And then we'll do the same arm and foot. So you take the hand just across the midline of the foot. So you might have already sensed this kind of encourages that heel landing. As you rock back, you really press that heel into the ground. So just have one more walk again, and then we'll go on to another exercise. I call these round the clocks, you might call them something else. So we stand on one leg, we bend the knee we're standing on, and we just touch the ground in front of us, back to centre, and then we just touch the numbers on a clock face, coming back to centre. So it's not stepping onto the other leg, we just keep loaded on the side we're standing on. And then eventually you'll start to get round the back. And here. It's quite a challenge. You don't need to come right round the front. Okay, so once you've done one way, have a go on the other leg. Nice and controlled, just reach that foot further and further out. Ooh. This is a great exercise if you have got pretty high arch feet. It really forces them to open up and flatten. Okay, done both sides? Right, this time take your big wedge and you're going to put the ball of your big toe and the big toe on the big wedge. See how your balance is this time? Ah. Is anyone's balance better or worse? Worse? And the other thing, can we see the knee positions on that standing leg? There's none of the strength and conditioning books that are going to support that, is it? But it's the foot that's moving most of the time rather than the actual knee. Okay, so once you've done one foot, have a go on the other. So when it becomes a bit easy, you can actually do this loaded. I've done these in the gym with a bar. You can load up the bar, but you might not want to go the whole way around the clock. You just load and perhaps load. This time we'll spin the block round. You'll now go into little toes. So you pick up the first two toes. So you'll start to get a sense of really challenging this foot to work. And again, some of you might find this better balanced, others might find it's more challenging. I want your knee to fall where it wants to fall. Oh, okay. I don't want it there for the whole time though, because you've got a supinated foot. And once we load up on one foot, it collapses in. Yeah. We want it to move. That's what I was trying to demonstrate with the block. That knee isn't always pointing out there. It can point in there. And if we bend the knee, that don't look so good. Yeah. Turn the knee there and bend it. Oh yeah, we're spot on. But it's not that great. It's restricted in the ankle. We need to just collapse. That's where the muscle's going to pull. You know, we've not really got any pronating muscles in the body. All the muscles are supinating, so everything's going to pull us out. So if we let gravity take us here, we will pull out of it. Yeah? Okay, have one more walk, because that might, again, for some of you that make changes. And then we'll do something completely different. Right, let's go back up the body, because this is gait analysis and I guess gait correction. And we've not really done much up in the top of the body. So, we'll start off, feet shoulder width apart. We're just going to lean everything over to one side and just let it hang. We raise that hanging arm so it's parallel with the ground. We turn the head so the eyes are parallel with the ground. And then what we do is we shift our pelvis back under our body. Yeah? There's two ways of doing this. Some people will hang and then they pull the body back over the top of the pelvis. And if you want to try that, you'll feel it. It's really heavy. So if you let yourself hang, raise up that arm, turn the head so the eyes are parallel. Now leave your pelvis out here and pull your body over the top of it. Feel that subtle difference? So you start to get a sense of efficiency. There's multiple ways our body can do the sort of the same movement. The one I quite often demonstrate is my hand. So if I want to turn my hand, I can turn it. I can also use my forearm to turn my hand, or I could use my shoulder to turn my hand. Still turning my hand, and I suspect none of them are the optimum movement. It's probably a group and sequence of those patterns. Okay, let's go up into the shoulders. So, take one hand. Has anyone got any shoulder injuries or impingements? Nope. Take one hand. We rotate the hand into the middle. Then we take the shoulder and push down deep into a pocket. Then use your shoulder to pull back up out of the pocket. Rotate the hand forward. And now you're going to use your shoulder blade to pull back. Cool. And I think you're all doing it. Then you bring the hand back into the front and rotate it. Push deep into the pocket. Pull the shoulder up out of the pocket. Rotating the hand forward. And then sliding the shoulder blade back. Cool. Some of you might get some tightness and pinching and tricep cramp. I'm surprised not had any more cramp before now. Okay, let's go on to the other side. Take one hand, rotate it into the middle, use the shoulder to push it down, pull out with the shoulder, hand comes forward, and then it's the shoulder blade that pulls back. Does everyone feel the shoulder blade pulling back the same on each side? Yeah. Okay, then we take the hand back into the middle, deep into the pocket, use the shoulder to pull back out, turn the hand forward, pull that shoulder blade back out. Okay, and then relax. And this is probably my favourite exercise. Hands up here. One palm is down, one palm is up. And then what you do is you twist your hands in opposite directions as if you've got a wet towel and you're trying to wring out all the moisture. Really wring it. Some of you guys might start to get tension and, you know, sort of tingling in your forearms and right across the back of the shoulders and neck. And actually, you guys are all doing this quite well, because what quite often happens when guys do this, they do just do the hands. They don't engage the shoulders, but most of the guys are... Right, have one more walk around. Right, what we'll do, we'll start to sort of wind down and we'll go back to the stuff we did at the very start in terms of the check-ins to see if stuff's tight or not. And then what I'll perhaps do is if we get people back in their trainers, they can just have a little jog up and down. And again, might get a sensation of what's gone on. Okay, so if everyone just jumps and lands. Not very high, it's only a little bit. It's not a competition. I know how competitive you lot are. Draw your attention back down into the soles of your feet. And can you feel where that most pressure is? I think the silence tells a lot, because most people when they start this, oh yes, there, it's right here. There it is, it's there. Yeah, got it. You get silence because they're trying to find out where they are. Has anyone got an obvious point of most pressure? I mean, some of the phrases that quite often come out. Some people say they feel a bit heavier. Others will say they feel lighter but more grounded. Yeah, okay. Let's go back up to the top. So with the head, we'll just gently turn in one direction, back to centre, turn to the other, back to centre. Now there were some people that had some neck tightness. Is that still there? It's easier. How much work did we do around the neck?
Pardon?
How much work did we do around the neck?
Not very much.
Not a lot. It's funny, isn't it? Then we take the head and we do the tip, back to centre, tip. Tightness, discomfort, feels better, feels worse. If I'm honest, I find that the most difficult one to get any change on. Really is challenge. The only exercise I've done is this thing, helps. But yeah, rotation's much easier to alter. Then we go to rib cage. Oh no, sorry, shoulders. Head stays still, shoulders rotate, back to centre, then to the other side. Again, pulling, pinching. And always go a little bit slower and always stop in the middle. Always have that reference point. Then we take the rib cage, flex one way, back to centre, flex the other side, and it's just the rib cage. Hopefully it's nice and free and flowing. This time ribs stay still, pelvis moves, so it's a shift, back to centre, shift. So again, on this one, there were some people it was definitely felt different. Try not to lean quite as much. It is just the pelvis that goes. That's better. And then do that same movement again, but what I want you to do is only move a centimetre. So the pelvis, you almost just initiate the movement. And can you do that? Some people won't have that control and they'll still go crashing out to the extreme ranges. It's really subtle in the middle. Then we take the pelvis, rotate the pelvis, have a good look behind. So can you remember what I was looking at the last time we did this movement? I wanted to see if your feet were engaged in the rotation. Can everyone feel their feet rotating as they do this? Particularly the foot they're rotating around. Then we take all the toes and pull them all up. And then they can all go down. Big toes on their own. Are we all up there? Okay, all down. Balance on tiptoes. Hey, that's what I was waiting for. Is that the first click we've had? None else has clicked, have they? Okay, then we'll go back down and then we'll do our bit on the bench if that's okay. So all the way to the top. Okay, once you've done a few on one side. Any pinching or pulling anywhere? No. Then we'll do the other side. Sip all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. You had quite a big difference, didn't you?
Yeah. Go down.
Was it this side that wouldn't go, or was it the other?
They're both.
Both? Oh, right, okay.
Bad, yeah.
That didn't look so bad on that side. Does it feel different?
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether I'm bending my left leg more now as well.
Yeah, try not to bend it. Yeah, but it still wouldn't. It wouldn't let the hip go. Or everything will just go. Did you guys have a little jog up and down? How things feel?
Looks like my feet were warmed up.
Right, they should be, hopefully. Best part of it all. Yeah, but yeah, that should be what you get, that sensation of them being alive. Because you know.
Like feel the shape of my shoe.
Ah, right, okay.
When I'm
Yeah, same.
Cool.
I feel the shape of my shoe.
Okay. So hopefully now what you'll get is you're going to get a quicker feedback to the brain as to what's going on down here. I'll tell you, I wish we had some way of timing you at the start and then doing a time at the end. I'm convinced we would be knocking chunks of time off like a 30-minute sprint, 30-metre sprint.